It is the NFL Divisional Round 2024 edition. But before we get to that, I just want to say this one thing. It's one thing. I dropped the album of the year. Yes, people, I am a music artist. I just dropped my album, Realize. Go check it out on YouTube exclusively.
Oh, yeah. Fresh out, baby.
Oh.
Yes, I can count on y'all to listen, right?
Hell yeah.
Also check out Youngin in you over there. Noah, Rudy over there. Got the visuals, got the Palm Springs desert in the background.
You guys got the music.
Yeah, we doing it. But today's episode is centered around the NFL Divisional Round. We got our matchups. It's 4 games on tap. Just like last week, we each going to focus in on one game at a time. And then all of us collectively is going to talk about the remaining game. So real simple episode. And of course, we got to have some fun segments in between. But let's go ahead and get started. Divisional round. Korrea, we haven't heard from you in a while. So what game are you covering this week?
So this weekend, I'll be covering the Chiefs and Bills divisional game. And they both have the same record. So that's going to be a really good game to see. As you guys know, the Bills just beat my Steelers, just knocked us out in the playoffs and the wild card. It's been pretty rough. But personally, for me, I am going to go for the Bills. Even though they just beat my Steelers, all that aside, I am going to go for the Bills because personally, I have big respect for Josh Allen. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks. You know, I feel like they are hungry right now and they're doing really well. Yeah, that's going to be a really interesting game to see. Chiefs coming in Buffalo and, you know, pretty sure like the weather is going to be, it's probably going to be the same or similar to how it was this past weekend, you know, or week. But Bills, they have like some weapons. They have like some good players on their team, as you guys know, and the Chiefs as well, you know. But personally, I am going to be going for the Bills. I feel like it's going to be a close game, but I feel like the Bills are going to take the win at the end of the day. But I think it is definitely going to be a close game. So, yeah. And, you know, the Chiefs, you know, obviously they could, you know, come and upset the Bills. I mean, I always say this with games, but anything is possible. But I do hope that the Bills win because, you know, the Bills, it would be nice to see them go further on into the playoffs. It would be nice to see them in the championship. We'll just have to see. The Chiefs, they've already had their run around. You know, I want to see these other teams. I want to see what they have to bring. I want to see what the Bills can do. Chiefs, I've already seen enough of them. So, you know, I just want to see these other teams have a chance. So, yeah, I'm going to go for the Bills, okay? Let's go for the Bills.
What's the number one thing in your estimation that the Bills have to do to win the game? Because, you know, the Chiefs are the defending champs. So they know what they're doing. So what do you think the Bills have to do in order to secure the win?
Well, I feel like the Bills, they need to put pressure on Pat Mahomes. And I do feel like, you know, they just need to stay on top of it. You know, as you guys know, Stephon Diggs, you know, I think he's going to have a real good game. And hopefully he could just like keep it going and everything like that. And then you also have, you know, Dalton Kincaid. He's a tight end. He's also a pretty good weapon, you know, for the offense. But I think they just need to just stay focused. They need to execute. You know, they need to protect their quarterback. They need to protect Allen, and then they also need to put pressure on Mahomes as well. So yeah, pretty much that's what I think they need to do for a secure win.
All right. Korrea's going for the Bills. Noah, who you got winning the game?
This is a very tough decision, guys. It's very, very tough for me to go against Patrick Mahomes, especially in the playoffs. I gotta go with the Bills by a slight at this one. I think at home at Bills Mafia makes a huge difference, more than people think. Especially with the Bills momentum they have rolling in from last week and actually last few weeks where they snuck in that division winner. Yeah, I think they got something clicking, especially with them being banged up on defense, surprisingly. Them being able to stuff the run has been much better than I thought as of late. I thought that'd be a problem for them, but at the same time, though, I mean, it's Mahomes. Chiefs have their a lot more disadvantages compared to past years. I think they've really found something with Rashee Rice being their number one receiver. Um, I do think their running game has stepped up too with Pacheco. So that's going to be an interesting one to see. I think that they have the better defense, but I think overall the Bills will have the better game plan, and just I think they're going to execute to that game in Bills Mafia by barely. If they win, I think it'll be barely by like 3 points, something like one possession for sure. So
Definitely
that's
a
what I
close
think.
game.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all noticed, but this is the first time
Oh.
in the Pat Mahomes era that they going on the road in the playoff game. The first time. That is insane.
That's insane. I didn't know that.
That's insane. Yeah. And what a way to start off your road career by going to Bills Mafia.
Yeah.
Right.
Where they throwing snow in the stands.
It's gonna be a real good game. Whew.
Yeah. Like I told you, Korea in chat, I think this is gonna be the best game this round. Real interesting
I agree.
matchup.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it can go either way, but I'm going with the Bills too. I think they're the hotter team right now. They got all things clicking. I'm still weary about the weapons for the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe they're not quite ready yet for the moment. Travis Kelce has been going down. Even though he had 95 catches this year, I mean, that's still pretty damn good. For you to fall off to 95 catches is like,
jeez.
That's saying something.
Yeah, that's saying something. But I just think the Bills are the hotter team right now. Are they necessarily the better team? Probably not. But they're just the hotter team. They playing real well, so I got the Bills.
Yeah. Ooh, all right. We can agree on something, Stacey.
Yeah. All three of us agree. All right. Let's go on to the next game, which Noah has. Noah, which game are you covering?
So I'm covering the Packers at the 49ers game. 49ers coming off a first round bye week. They're going to start their journey at home in Santa Clara, with the Packers being pulling off the biggest upset of wild card weekend last week. I got the Niners winning this. I think they could win by 10 points. I do think that I do see the Packers putting up like 20 points or so if all else like goes well. I just think the Niners are the most complete team. They have better defense, they have better offense, better coaching, and yeah, the home crowd, like I said, home crowds in playoffs to me are just so much more of an advantage compared to regular season games. And I just really think the Niners, considering their last few games, counting the one against Baltimore, I think they really wake up and say, "Hey, like it's go time." So for those reasons, I think the Niners will win this one.
Let me ask you this: if an upset were to happen, the Packers beat the 49ers. What would the Packers have done in that game?
Oh, what the Packers have done?
Yeah, what the Packers have done?
Passing game elite. Like I think the passing game had to be on 10. Jordan Love had to just throw seeds every other pass. Like I think that's like their main advantage as far as offense is passing ball. Aaron Jones had a great game last week. Don't get me wrong, but yeah. I just think the Niners are much better at stuffing the run than compared to like preventing pass. So yeah, I think using that, and then like also defense. Like defense would have to be absolutely like on lock. So I think those would be the two things mainly.
Okay, all right. Korrea, who you got winning this game? Packers or 49ers?
I'm gonna be honest, but I thought about this, and I'm gonna have to say the Packers.
Oh,
yeah, I see an upset coming. Another upset. the Packers, they, as you guys saw, they just beat the Cowboys in the wild card. And I had a feeling that that was going to happen. I don't know if you guys remember in the chat, but I was telling Noah about that personally, that I had a feeling like they were going to they were going to pull an upset on the Cowboys. But I do feel like the Packers, even though they have like a 10-8 record right now, I do feel like they could do something. I do feel like, if anything, I could see this game being a close one too, if the Packers do pull an upset. I know the Niners are like, they are looking good this season. And I know, they were in the regular season, they were like, pretty solid. Offense, defense, offensive line was pretty impressive. But I say the Packers personally. Shout out to Mike. But I feel like the Packers could win. As you guys know, like Jordan Love, he completed 16 of 21 pass attempts for 272 yards and 3 touchdowns. And so basically that guy, he's young. He's still got a lot of energy in him. He's younger than me. He's 25. And he's thrown like 21 touchdown passes, and he's only had 1 interception over his last 9, whatever you want to say. But basically, I feel like the Packers could win this game. I feel like they're going to be going to play the Niners at home. So, they're facing the Niners at their house. But I do feel like the Packers could pull another upset.
All right. I think the game is going to be closer than what people think.
Yeah.
Because the Packers they riding their wave right now. They got everything going and they believe in themselves. I think they believe that they can beat the 49ers. Unfortunately for this show, I don't think so. I think the 49ers going to win. I think versus the Cowboys, the 49ers definitely have the better coach, definitely can make more in-game adjustments. They have Brock Purdy healthy this time around. This is the easiest path for them to get back to the Super Bowl. There's literally nobody. Whoever said that the Eagles or the Cowboys might give them a fight, both of those teams are gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is, hey, this is your time, 49ers. This is it right here. And it starts with the Packers. It starts with the Packers, but I think the 49ers going to win.
Yeah, and then I really like how Jordan Love looked in this last game. I mean, I've been liking Jordan Love since like week 10, ever since he got out of that slump. But yeah, dude, I really was impressed by like how confident they were too in that last game. So I think that really helps them go into this game with that underdog mentality still.
Right. All right, and the game that I'm covering is the Lions versus the Buccaneers. All right.
Oh boy.
Let me start with the Buccaneers. They gotta hold on to the ball. I'm talking about the wide receiver core. Baker Mayfield, he had a good game, but his completion percentage suffered because there was a lot of drops. Mike Evans had less than 5 catches. Chris Godwin had less than 5 catches. Those guys got to step up this round. Now, the advantage they do have is the Lions secondary is kind of shaky. It's kind of shaky. Once you get past that front 8, you can dice them up. But they got to hold on to the ball at the same time. Even Cade Otton, who was their leading receiver in that game versus the Eagles, had 8 catches, dropped like 4 passes too. So got to hold on to the ball. Try to run the ball with Rachaad White. Now, Buccaneers, they've been terrible this year as far as running the ball. But like I've said before, when you reach the playoffs, you still got to try to run. You still got to get those yards in chunks. Hit them hard. Then go off the top. in the passing game. The Lions do have a good front eight, but this is also a defense that you can bend towards your will. So Buccaneers, wide receivers, tight end, hold on to the ball. And of course, Baker Mayfield's going to make those plays. He's going to, get the ball downfield. Defensively, the Buccaneers versus the Rams are coming in with an experienced defense. They got Jamel Dean, Levante David, and those guys who've been there, done it, been to Super Bowl with Tom Brady, won it. They're going to have to ride the veteran leadership on their defense. Now, for the Lions, like I said, the secondary can be exposed. The secondary has to be on lock. You going against a Hall of Fame wide receiver, even though he's vastly underrated, a Hall of Fame wide receiver in Mike Evans. You got the speedster and Chris Godwin. They had a couple of receivers who was making plays too versus the Eagles. And then you got Rashad White who can catch the ball out the backfield. So the Lions secondary definitely have to be on point and actually make tackles and not injure no more tight ends. Now, I know y'all saw that, right?
Yeah,
going for the legs.
filthy.
I know you saw that. Yeah.
Fucking filthy.
Yeah, come on. Right. Come on, Tyler Higbee. Hopefully he can have a speedy recovery. And then on offense, I need to see the Lions run the ball a little bit more effectively. They have two good running backs. We talked about this last week. They got two good running backs. It's going to make things easier for Jared Goff, who, he had a great game versus the Rams. But like I said before, you're going against an experienced defense here, even though they're not the same, going against experience nonetheless with the Buccaneers. So running the ball with those two running backs, especially Montgomery, who can give you those tough yards, definitely is going to be vital in this game. As far as my winner, I got to roll with the Lions. They're back at home. The hype is there. The hype is real. We all saw it last week when they went against the Rams. They back for another round. This is, an easy opponent versus what I think they was going to have to deal with the Eagles. I think they can win by 10, at least by 10, if they do everything correctly. The Buccaneers, they're not no punks. They're not just going to roll over. But I'm going to go with the Lions in this game to make it to their NFC Championship game. Oh, what you guys think, Korrea?
So, Stacey, I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm going for the Lions. I'm going to go with the Lions as well. Honestly, I'm so proud of the Lions. Being a Steelers fan, I am proud of them. I feel like they've came a long way, and it's been so many years, like 32 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They've even came this far. So, they ought to be real proud of themselves for, making it to the playoffs and coming this far and everything like that. The Buccaneers, they had a good game against the Eagles last week. I mean, they really they really showed them up. And, I wasn't surprised personally about that game either. I wasn't surprised that they were going to beat the Eagles as well, just because I feel like the Buccaneers, the Eagles, it was all this hype and it was like, I just feel like last season, they made it, they went far. And this season it was like, they just had their
Super Bowl loser curse.
Right.
Super Bowl loser curse. It's real.
There you go. Yep, it is. And so basically they just, they didn't make it this far, they just got knocked out in the wild card, and a lot of the Eagle fans are bummed out, sad, whatever. But on another note, I feel like the Lions, I don't know if you guys remember the week 6 game against the Bucks, but they beat them in week 6. And that was a good matchup. That was a pretty good game, week 6, the Lions and Bucks game. And that game I think that game was also a short game. It was a close game, my bad. It was a close game as well. But I feel like for this weekend, I can see it being sort of a close game, but not too close. So basically similar to what Stacey said. But I do feel like the Lions are going to win this game. I feel like they have a lot of potential. They look pretty solid. I agree with Stacey. They do need a little bit of help when it comes to the offense, with the running and everything like that. But for the most part, I'm impressed with the Lions and I'm proud of them. And I would like to see them win a Super Bowl.
All right, Noah, who you have winning, Lions or Buccaneers?
We're gonna make this a hat trick, and because I have the Lions too. Sure, the Buccaneers have more experience, but I think the Lions have more talent. I think that the home field is still amped up, and the city of Detroit's on the edge of their seat for this one. I think the Lions are just going to take advantage of another home game. They got the momentum flowing their way. Everything's clicking. They did have a close one from the Rams game last week. I'm not going to say it was like, oh my gosh, performance from them, but yeah, their run game could be more effective, like you mentioned earlier, Stacey. With the Lions O-line being a top 5 O-line, they need to make that happen. I think they have that to their advantage. The Bucs definitely have their offensive weapons that they're going to put to work for sure. Mike Evans, Rashad White, Godwin, K. Dotton, all them. Just that the O-line really irks me. It really worries me as far as like how things are going to go for them offensively, because there's some Swiss cheese in that O-line. And then the defense has been solid. They've been holding their own a good amount of the season. I've been seeing them put in some work. But I honestly forgot that they played each other earlier this season, and that was one of the first games I've seen this year where Jared Goff went on the road and actually did good. So for him to have this one at home and say, okay, we're at home this time, all right? We got the crowd with us. We got the divisional playoffs. We got all this all this lineup for us. We got to take this W. So I think they're gonna really whip up things into shape and get the W.
All right, cool. Let's go on to our segment. It's just a simple segment called Agree or Disagree. I'm going to read out a statement out loud. You're going to agree with it. You're going to disagree with it. No neutral. You can't be in the middle. You got to choose one or the other.
Yes. Yes.
Putting y'all on the spot. All right, here we go. Statement number 1. Reports have surfaced that Jerry Jones is going to keep Mike McCarthy as the head coach for the 2024 season. Do you guys agree with that move or disagree with that move?
Highly disagree.
Highly.
Oh, highly.
Yeah, it's just you see Mike McCarthy's track record. He only has one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Like, for one. Second, what did he say to Kellen Moore before he got let go from the Cowboys? He said that Kellen Moore he said he let go of Kellen Moore because he wanted to pass more. Well, McCarthy, assuming that he likes to run in his past years, didn't do that this year. And he's just passed more and didn't really use Tony Pollard as much as I thought it'd be. I thought Tony Pollard was going to have a bigger role in that offense, but I disagree with that. I think he has to go at the very least for the Cowboys.
Korrea?
I would disagree as well, because I feel like they have this problem with the Cowboys. They just, when it comes to the playoffs, they don't. Let's just put it this way: that it's been a long time since they've made it all the way in, but they only make it to the wild card, and then that's it. Or it's similar to the Steelers, But I would disagree as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree too. Just he took over the offensive play calling, and then there's no big changes at all. But I mean, if he stay around, I don't know how it's going to go, because I don't think Tony Pollard is going to return, and I don't think that Prescott is going to return. So they're going to have to, start that thing over.
I feel like it's going to be either one or just one of each from both. Like either McCarthy is gone or one of those two is gone, or both of them.
Yeah. But I would say if that holds true, 2024 it's going to be his last year as a Cowboy head coach. Yeah.
Should be, at least.
Yeah. We'll see what happens about that. All right. Statement number 2. Despite what he said, the Bears should draft Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick. Agree or disagree?
No. I do not agree with that. I think if the Bears are smart, they trade that first overall pick for more picks. I believe the Titans, the Falcons, and some other team is in 5, 6, and 7. They all need quarterbacks. The Patriots are right there at 3. I think they work something out with some of those teams in those top 10 and get more picks for that.
All right, Korrea.
I would disagree just because I feel like, basically similar to like what Noah said, I feel like there's some other teams that are more in need for like the quarterback situation. And I feel like the Bears, I just feel like I don't see Caleb Williams being in that team. I don't really see that, honestly. I don't see like the possibility of it. I just feel like, there's just other teams out there that they're in more desperate need of having like a quarterback situation, like that whole thing. So I would disagree.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely disagreeing with that. I think it'd be foolish on their part if they do that. I think, like Noah said, they should definitely trade. There's a lot more teams that are desperate for a quarterback, and they're gonna need that. Continue to work with Justin Fields. I believe in Justin Fields. I think he can do something next year, have a bounce back year, so to speak. But don't draft Caleb Williams. Do not draft.
I agree. I think Justin Fields is good enough to build around if they keep building around him.
And he's still very young too. you know. So I mean, there you go. Gotta give him some time.
All right, statement number 3. This got something to do with the Los Angeles Rams. And I want y'all to agree with this. Puka Nacua is Rookie of the Year. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Noah. Give me an agree. Give me an agreement, Noah.
Oh, as much as I want to say yes.
Don't you say CJ Stroud. Don't you say CJ Stroud. You better not say it.
I'm sorry. I gotta give it to CJ, man.
No.
I'm sorry. I really love Puka Nacua, dude. I really do. If there's a offensive rookie of the year award, that's him.
No. He's clear. Did you see? Y'all know you saw that game. 181 yards catching.
Yeah, dude. That is elite, man. I know. It's tough. It's like 51-49 for me, man.
Oh.
It's CJ is just, dude. The fact that CJ's bringing like a bottom 2 team up to a divisional round now, and I just think that's very, very impactful, especially if it's a quarterback. Especially if it's a quarterback, and it's like he's like, I think he he's the 5th rookie in NFL history to have 5,000 yards in his rookie year, something like that, something crazy. But I gotta give it to CJ by a slight.
Korrea, thank you very much for your support, and I appreciate you being on this show.
For the Steelers.
Yeah.
See how they do next year, and then TJ Watt is him. He's important, very important.
A bit.
Yeah. That's all right. Let's go ahead and talk about the last game of the divisional round. Speaking of CJ Stroud, he's leading the Houston Texans against the Baltimore Ravens, who is the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. So let's break down this matchup. What's going to happen? Who's going to win? Korrea, what you got for the Texans and Ravens?
I know the Ravens, this is actually going to be another good game. I feel like this game is going to be close to being good as the Bills and Chiefs game, in my opinion. But I feel like, as you guys know, the Ravens, they've done pretty solid this year. Oh my goodness, the Ravens are, they are hungry. I don't know what it is, but their defense is really good. They have a pretty good, solid defense. And I'm pretty impressed with the Ravens, whole rivalry thing. They're in my division, but this season I've been pretty impressed with them. Texans, I'm pretty proud of them as well. This season really just turned out to be one hell of a season, honestly, for some of these teams. Teams that I didn't even think were going to make it to the playoffs this year. The Texans, they're doing brilliant, as Stacey and Noah had mentioned earlier. The Texans are doing really good. And CJ Stroud, honestly, he deserves a round of applause for everything he's been doing with the offensive line, and everything like that. But this one was tough for me, honestly, to choose. This game is going to be at M&T Bank. This game is going to be in Baltimore. And you know how these games go when you play in Baltimore, these games, like when you play the Ravens in Baltimore, you don't want to be messing around. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to go with the Texans on this.
What?
Not because
Wow.
not because I don't like the Ravens, but honestly, it's just because I feel like the Texans, like, I don't know, it's kind of like similar how I feel about the Packers and Niners game. I just feel like the Texans, like, they've had a good season, and I know, like, the Ravens, they have, they may have better coaching, they may have better, like, better, like, defense, whatever the case, but I feel like I feel like the Texans, I feel like they could win this game, and, it's going to be a really good game. It's going to be really competitive. If anything, this game will be close. If the Ravens end up winning, I feel like they could probably, I wouldn't say it would be a blowout game, but I just feel like the Ravens, they could probably, like, shut the Texans down if they do pull a win. But honestly, I see the Texans. I just want the Texans to win this game. And, like, CJ Stroud, as you guys know, he has a lot of passing yards, and that's like the 8th best in the league. 23 touchdowns against 5 interceptions, and completing 63.9% of his attempts. That's like really good. That's impressive. And also for being a rookie, being who he is just very impressive. You see Nico Collins as well, Devin Singletary, Dalton Schultz. They're going to have a real good game on offense. Defense, they have Jonathan Greenyard, Blake Clashman. I think that they're going to come out. So, yeah, I have the Texans. I'm sorry, sue me, but I have the Texans winning this game. I want them to win this game because, yeah, I don't want I don't want to see the Ravens. I don't want to see the Ravens. People are saying Ravens and Niners Super Bowl, but we had that Super Bowl like 10 years ago or so. And I want to see something else. I want to see these other teams that haven't been in so long, you know what I mean? Or haven't even been to a Super Bowl before. So have the Texans.
It sounds like Korrea won a Lions-Texans Super Bowl. That's what it sounds like.
Low key, I do. I want the Dolphins to go to the Super Bowl, but they're out now. So I had to change, my way of thinking a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Texans. Man. Noah, what you got for this game? How you see it playing out?
I think this will be a good game, too. I think this will be closer than everyone anticipates, too. But you're going to have to sue me again because I am using a night upset on the Texans. I think they win this game.
Yeah. You know what? Before you go into that, you know what I think? I think there's some saltiness between, because both of y'all are Steelers fans.
Hey, I know you're going to say
want to see. I know y'all was at home celebrating. Yeah, look at the Browns. The Browns suck. And all this stuff.
That's true.
Now y'all want to see the Ravens bow out. This is what I think. I think it's just that AFC North hatred.
Yeah. I can't lie. There's still an enemy.
Part of it.
I'd be lying. I'm gonna say no, right? But no, in all seriousness, though, like, I have complete faith in CJ Stroud. Like, I would take him over Lamar on my team. Like, if you gave me the chance. Hot take, but fuck it. I have complete faith in him. I think they're coming in hot right now from their win in Houston, especially what they got going. That team has a very good bondage with each other, too. I've heard a lot in the clubhouse that they're great. Um, I don't know. I, something about me doesn't really sell. I'm not really sold on Lamar in the playoffs just yet. Still need to see him like win more in the playoffs. But I might be tripping a bit, but I don't know. I just my gut's telling me that they're not going to make it easy for the Ravens. I think if the Texans like beat the Ravens, I think they could like potentially go all the way, like
That's what I
something
think
crazy.
too. I can see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've been thinking like all day. Whoa, if the Ravens really lose to the Texans could actually take this. So like that's how I say. I think the offense is very much more explosive than I thought. Their O line is great. I know they don't have Tank Dell. They've been rolling without Damian Pierce for a while. But hey, I mean, it seems to be working out for what they've got right now. Ravens do seem to have Mark Andrews back. They're going to have him and Isaiah Likely back, so that's definitely a plus for them. The run game, we'll see how that goes. That's a bit questionable still. Both defenses are solid. Ravens have the better defense, obviously, but I think the Texans defense has been really surprising me lately, especially with how much pressure they've been putting on the QBs. So with that, I think that the Texans win a close win in Baltimore.
All right. I do want to say this. They played the very first regular season game against each other, in which the Ravens won 25-9. So the key to game for me for the Texans, you got to take advantage of your red zone opportunities. You know, last time you played this team, you only came away with 9 points, which tells me you had 3 field goals. When you get down there, you got to score. Look, this Ravens defense is great, especially they got Roquan Smith at linebacker and Patrick Queen. Those guys are the 2 best linebackers in the league. You know, they're not going it's not gonna be an easy day for you. They're going to game plan on Nico Collins, who is their last man standing in the wide receiver category. You know, unfortunately, they've been facing injuries right there. The running game got to be there. Devin Singletary. Damian Pierce, I counted him out a long time ago. Just not working out for him there. And then, you know, CJ Stroud, you know, you're going against another fantastic defense in Baltimore. But like you said, Noah, Lamar Jackson has to be great, especially passing the ball. He's been a little faulty in the playoffs. I remember a long time ago when they went against the Titans, and I picked the Titans to I picked the Ravens to win. But I said if the Titans was going to win, they was going to make Lamar Jackson throw the ball a whole bunch of times. Lamar Jackson had 56 attempts in that game and only completed 36. So that's got to be kind of the same formula the Texans going to have. The Texans have a great defense within their own rights. But, you know, Lamar Jackson has to make strides in that passing game. The wide receiver core for the Ravens is, got Zay Flowers, who's, rookie. Odell's not the Odell that we used to seeing. You know, he gets 2 or 3 catches and we don't hear from him the rest of the game. Mark Andrews will be key, but he's working his way back from a major injury. I like how he's building camaraderie with Isaiah Likely, who's every time I see him play, he always come up with a clutch catch.
He's good, dude.
He is good. He is good. And then for somebody else got to run that damn ball. Like, it can't be Lamar Jackson all the time. This is the playoffs here. They're gonna have a game plan for that. See, that's why the Ravens been getting eliminated time and time again early in the playoffs, because somebody else got to do something in that run game. And you look at the stat, Lamar Jackson in that first game against the Texans had 38 rushing yards, and that led the team. That can't happen.
No,
that cannot happen. But as far as the winner, I think just like what I said about the 49ers, the Ravens know that it is time. It is time. They have to reach the Super Bowl. You know, it's a lot of pressure that is on them. I mean, they got a tougher path. You know, you got to go against either the Bills or the Chiefs, and that's not going to be easy. But they have finally the team to do it. As long as their wide receivers make, great plays in the passing game. I'm going with the Ravens. I think it's going to be a little bit close, but I could also see the Ravens pulling away in the second half. I think their defense is going to get after CJ Stroud and make it tough for him. In the first game, they did have 5 sacks on CJ Stroud for 46 yards. Damn. So that's like a 9-yard loss per sack.
Yeah.
So I mean, CJ Stroud is much better now.
Yeah.
You know, he's made improvements, but I'm going with the Ravens.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh man, but if the Texans win, y'all too,
that's gonna be big.
Whenever I get on DraftKings or something, I'm asking y'all what should I do? Yeah, I'm asking y'all what should we do? All right. To end the show, let's introduce another segment. Just called Last Call. This is basically what we're gonna say, what's been on our minds, that we want to get out there real quick. NFL edition. So anything about the NFL that's on your mind, bring it up. Let's see what you got. What you got? Somebody?
I got it.
Let's go.
So Patriots new head coach, Jared Mayo. So it's first of all, it's nice that we have another coach of color that's in the league. Yes. I admire that. It's amazing. I love it. Love to see it. Mm-hmm. And I think the Patriots are going to be all right with him. I'm actually curious to see how he's going to pan out this whole team. But I'm curious to see how everything's going to go with that next season. And, he did have a little press conference. I think it was today or yesterday, and vaguely heard some of the things he said. But I do feel like he would be a good fit for the team, coaching wise. And, Bill Belichick is gone. And, I'm just wondering what team's going to pick him up, because he is, a little up there now in age. And, he was with the Patriots pretty much like most of his career, and I don't know what team's going to want to pick him up, but pretty sure there's a team out there. And then there's also Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's gone. And he was also with the Seahawks for some time too, and great chemistry with that team and everything like that. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what they do there for head coaching. And also heard about, there's speculation going around that one of the Harbaugh brothers, is John Harbaugh. He's going to be going to the Chargers possibly for the head coach position. So we'll see how that goes. And also the Raiders for their head coach position. They're trying to figure out if they want to keep Antonio Pierce in there. Excuse me. So they're trying to figure out if they want to keep him, where he's at, or, so the Raiders are trying to figure out what to do there. But I'm looking forward to how that's going to pan out during the offseason. And also for my boys, for the Steelers, I know Noah and I were talking about this, but just hopefully we can get the whole quarterback situation sorted out, because that whole thing is, a mess right now. And I do hope that we release Mitch in the offseason because he's terrible. And I just don't think that he blends with the Steelers' chemistry that well. But I just hope that Mason Rudolph, I hope that he keeps playing well this next season. I hope that he comes out and, he does what he can do as backup. And also Kenny Pickett. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to do his third year with the Steelers coming up. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring to the offense. And I think it's going to be a real good year for the Steelers. We're rebuilding right now. So hopefully, this next season we make some, changes and improvement, and hopefully we can make it to the playoffs again and go all the way to the divisional and possibly to the championship round too. So that's what I hope. And, but that's what I can say about the NFL. Had a lot to say about that. So yeah.
All right, Noah, what's on your mind? Last call.
What's on my mind? Kirk Cousins, where's he going to go?
Oh,
Top
God.
free agent quarterback this next year in this offseason. Where's he going to go? There's at least a handful of teams that I think would be interested, to name a few. Would be the Steelers, Falcons, maybe Titans. I don't know about that one as much, but I just don't see him being a Viking anymore after this, the big contract that they just gave him. I think they move on from him. Personally, I just think it'd be better for Kirk also to be on a better team. I want to see Kirk. I was telling Korrea this earlier. I want to see Kirk on a team with a good defense because he's never had a good defense to back him up. So that's one thing I give Kirk. He was balling up this year without JJ, the best receiver in the league. And I really think if you get him on a team with a couple solid weapons and a solid defense with a good coach, I think he could make some noise. That's just to name one thing. The other thing would be I'm looking forward to the Aaron Rodgers situation. I feel like that's been not a lot really talked about lately. How long will he last? Is he going to last 1 year, 2 years? How much, depending on how much they paid him this last contract they just gave him on the freaking Hard Knocks here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how that's going to pan out with the Jets. Is he going to make one last push to win a championship with the Jets? So we'll see how that all goes. I'm really looking forward to that. And then, as every year, I'm also looking forward to the new Hard Knocks team.
All right. Man, I want to take this back to head coaching. There's one team that I'm not a fan of theirs. Even though I watch the game, watch the NFL, I'm not a fan of theirs. But, even they get on my damn nerves of how they hire their head coach. Raiders, please do the goddamn right thing and hire Antonio Pierce as your head coach. Don't go nowhere else. Do not go nowhere else. You made a mistake with John Gruden. I don't know why the hell they hired Josh McDaniels. I don't know why the hell they would do that. And both of them went left. Both of them went terrible. The players love Antonio Pierce. I know y'all seen his post-game speeches, his pre-game speeches and everything. The players they have his back. And he had those guys playing well towards the end. Raiders. Do the right thing. Hire Antonio Pierce. He's the right man for the job. You can probably end up going to the playoffs under his tutelage. That's all I got to say. But
I agree with that, honestly, because I feel like the Raiders, they should just keep him as head coach, because I feel like if they let him go, they're just going to make a mistake once again. Because the Raiders, they have a history of like you said, Stacey, they do have a history of like coaching, and they don't seem to like make it to the playoffs. They have like this issue when it comes to like coaching and then their organization and stuff like that. So hopefully they do the right move. And yeah.
I want to add on to something real quick there. I know I was talking to my boy Hamilton with this earlier, like a while ago, and we were saying like we think that the best coach that the Raiders have had the last 5 seasons was Rich Bisaccia. You guys remember him in 2021?
Yeah, I remember him. Special teams.
Yeah,
special teams.
Yeah, I think he was the best coach they've had to this day.
Yeah, he had them players. He had them playing well, and I was like, all right, he gonna get the job. I think he went like 5-2 or something like that.
Yeah, dude, he took him to playoffs when they lost Henry Ruggs that same year. It's like, dog, how do you not keep that guy? Like, that's insane to me.
I don't know.
But Antonio Pierce does seem like a good clubhouse guy too. It seems like players really like his company. He's done a good job with the remainder of the season when he's had to fill in that interim spot. So, yeah, we'll see how the Raiders handle this one.
That was it. Oh, and one more thing before I wrap this up. Puka Nacua is the rookie of the year.
Oh my God.
Salt on my wound, huh?
Yeah. Every time. But that was the end of SOS Stacey on Sports NFL Divisional Round 2024. Once again, I was joined by Noah Urrutia and Korrea Lewis. Follow us on X, on Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, we are now 8 episodes away from the big 100. We almost there, and we're going to have something special to celebrate that milestone. But until next time, We're signing off. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Woo.